Nairobi oye! Nairobi oye! Nairobi, Your Excellency, we were able to register 167,702, and my chairman, Honorable George Aladwa, is here. Well done, chairman. Well done to the members of Nairobi. Members of Nairobi, simameni for glory, bwana. Hey, Nairobi. Yeah. Asante sana. Your Excellency, we flip over to page 9 on Number 6 on electoral justice reforms and dialogue with the Kenya Kwanza regime. Following the electoral coup perpetrated by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and the decision by the Supreme Court of Kenya to uphold the same, the party within the coalition called Azimio embarked on a program of spearheading the pursuit of electoral justice and resistance of the Kenya Kwanza regime's government's political and economic misgovernance. Azimio's irreducible minimum agenda included, number 1, addressing the high and escalating cost of living, audit of the 2022 presidential elections, restructuring and reconstitution of the IEBC, and respect for multi-party democracy. Your Excellency, the highlights included peaceful and unarmed processions, boycotts and picketing. And as you have seen from the presentation from the ODM media team, the regime's response was always brutal, unlawful and unconstitutional. Giving peaceful resolution of these genuine grievances a chance, the coalition agreed to 2 sets of bipartisan national dialogue. The first dialogue, initiated in May 2023, collapsed following the regime's recalcitrant position and the callous manner with which it treated the talks. As a result, therefore, the coalition resumed mass action program that ran through to July 2023. And Your Excellency, I remain eternally grateful that you made me part of that initial effort to have this conversation that then collapsed because of the lack of seriousness on the part of members of the Kenya Kwanza delegation. In July of 2023, at the request of the Kenya Kwanza regime, a new phase of dialogue was initiated, co-chaired by His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. The committee, designated as a National Dialogue Committee, was more encompassing and accepted views from a broad range of the Kenyan public. In November of 2023, NADCO completed its work and submitted its report to both houses of parliament. The report was similarly handed formally to the 2 respective coalition leaders in February of 2024. Apart from the matter of addressing the high cost of living, both coalitions were able to agree on all other agenda. The report of NADCO has since been tabled, debated and unanimously adopted in both the National Assembly and the Senate. Resulting therefrom, 9 parliamentary bills have been drafted and are awaiting enactment. Your Excellency, we will confirm from the Senate that in fact those bills are now on the order paper as from yesterday. Number 7 on disciplinary matters. The disciplinary committee conducted hearings against members of a party as indicated below. 4 special elect members of the Kisumu County Assembly at number 1, and then at number 2, 3 members of the National Assembly, at number 3, 7 members of Parliament, including Senator Professor Ojienda and others. The disciplinary committee took the members of NEC through the process they undertook in conducting the hearings in strict adherence to the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya, the Fair Administrative Actions Act, the Party Constitution and the Disciplinary Committee Practice and Procedure Rules 2022. After lengthy deliberations on the report and its recommendations and taking into consideration the nature of the allegations, the evidence adduced and the general conduct of the accused members, the National Executive Committee made the following recommendations: that the following honorable members' nomination to the Kisumu County Assembly be revoked for gross misconduct. That was Honorable Caroline Apar, Honorable Kennedy Ajuang, Peter Henry Obaso, and Honorable Regina Kizito. That Honorable Esther Passaris be reprimanded for her outright defiance of the party position on the Finance Bill 2023, tender a written apology, and pay a fine of 250,000 Kenya shillings. That Honorable Mark Nyamita, Honorable Paul Abor be reprimanded and pay a fine of 1 million shillings each, and be barred from holding any elective or appointive office within the ODM party for the next 12 months. that the following members, by dint of their conduct, be deemed to have resigned from the party. Number 1, the Honorable Tom Ojienda, the Honorable Elisha Odhiambo, the Honorable Karoli Omondi, the Honorable Gideon Ochanda, and the Honorable Felix Odiwor Kode alias Jalas. All the aforementioned members contested the decision at the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal, which rendered the decision as follows. Number 1, that the party was right in deeming the members to have resigned from the party. That the provision in the party constitution that requires representation at the disciplinary committee only by party members is unconstitutional. And Your Excellency, this has informed some of the proposals to change our constitution that the NGC will be ratifying today. Number 3, that the party's disciplinary committee is not legally constituted, as its chairperson, a professor at the public university, is a public officer and therefore not eligible to hold an office in the party, in a political party, which is a decision that was contested, Mr. Honorable Party Leader, and it will inform some of the deliberations at this NGC. Your Excellency, allow me to proceed to conclude with the challenges we have faced as the national leadership of the party in the period under review. The Political Parties Act 2011 provides for registration, management, funding, and the registration of political parties, among other things. On funding, it specifically provides that not less than 0.3% of annual revenue of the total national revenue shall be allocated to the political parties fund, of which 5% shall be utilized by the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties for administration and 95% shared to qualified political parties based on their strength. The Kenya Kwanza regime has continued to violate this provision with impunity, thereby curtailing our capacity to fund our activities. Since assuming power 2 years ago, the Kenya Kwanza regime has honed its ability to stifle political parties of the funds provided by statute. And I will give you an example, Your Excellency. In the financial year 2022-2023, the political parties fund had been allocated 1.47 billion shillings, with the ODM party entitled to receive 308 million shillings. Even before the registrar of political parties disbursed these allocations, the UDA party contested the formula that had been used to arrive at those distributions. Ultimately, the matter was dismissed with costs. Having lost the court case, they immediately introduced supplementary estimates number 1 of 2022-2023 and deducted 600 million shillings from the political parties fund. Your Excellency, similarly, in financial year 2023-2024, the fund received a similar allocation of Kenya shillings 1.47 billion, with ODM still entitled to receive 345. In November of 2023, the Kenya Kwanza regime introduced supplementary budget estimates number 1 of 2023-2024 that reduced the fund by Kenya shillings 867 million shillings. This reduction resulted in our allocation decreasing by 181 million Kenya shillings. And the treasurer of the party will be giving you further details on this particular move. Since the party had already received 77 million in Q1 disbursements, Your Excellency, we were left with only Kenya shillings 50 million, which was disbursed in January of 2024 to cover the remaining 3 quarters. We as leadership have since moved to court to challenge this illegality, and the High Court is expected to deliver its decision on the 9th of May 2024. Your Excellency, the situation is so bad that we have seen recently senior leaders of our opponents being quoted as seeking financial resources from the Communist Party of China to fund their programs, including building of their national headquarters, which is a matter that is specifically proscribed under the law. The law does not allow political parties to receive funding directly from other sources outside the country. Your Excellency, thank you so much for listening to me. That is the end of my report, and it covers most of the matters arising. I now want to welcome back the chairperson, Honorable Mbadi, to take us forward. God bless ODM.
At this juncture, honorable delegates, allow me to read the resolution to adopt the Secretary General's report. That the Orange Democratic Movement National Governing Council meeting this 18th day of April 2024 at the Bomas of Kenya, Nairobi City County, and invoking its